Check out that sky, those clouds, and I don't know if you can see these sun rays. Oh, they're so incredible. Just beautiful. Today we've had some rain, much needed to help with the fires that are going off around here. The birds going off around here. Dropping in the beginning of the month, making a brief video invitation to join in Breath of Love, Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Come as you are. I wanted to read a little bit about what I wrote in my meditation this morning. I don't normally read this. It's normally more of a flow offering, but this is what's happening today. So I'm going to read you some of what I wrote, and maybe it will serve some of you. And may these bird calls remind you that we're not alone, that our environment is aware of us, we can be aware of it. What are you a part of? What are you already a part of? Can you slow down and be more mindful of your environment and what you're already saturated in? Which leads me into this toxicity. Some of you, most of you don't know that I ended an 8-year toxic relationship about, you'll have to just pardon me, I'm just so stunned by the beauty here, the rays coming out. I moved to Mount Shasta 3 years ago, partnered at the time, and because I'm so intent on opening my heart and listening, it became really clear to me that I had partnered with a person who embodied not only the unresolved issues of my mother, but also my father. And because I was not healthy, my consciousness was unintegrated, it was the perfect match. And because I have a dedicated breathwork practice, thank you, Jason Amoroso, I didn't know what it was for a long time, but I would take my intention into that session. Show me, please show me my block, show me my block, show me this block. I can't see it. I didn't know what it was. I just knew that my primary relationships, my partner, my best friend, other very close friends were all reflecting to me this unease. I was feeling very uneasy in all of these primary, intimate, very sacred, close relationships. And so I knew because the reflections were so close that it was something super deep for me. And so I would go into my practice and I would writhe and I would cry and I would grieve and I would be confused and I would ask for clarity and grace and compassion, and it was session after session after session after session after session. Moving energy, clearing energy, doing other integrations. I finally woke up that I was in my childhood energetics, married to this person, and we were in a toxic stew. So I thought it was salvageable. I did my part, and my partner did not arrive to do his, and so I asked him to go, and he went. And I'm mentioning that because what came through this morning was toxicity. I didn't know that it had gotten so toxic. I didn't know that I was toxic. I didn't know that I was this unhealthy in my consciousness. I did not know, because I was functioning, because I was of service, because I could have a conversation, because I was attuned, because I was intuitive, because there was so much that was still functional. I didn't realize until I realized. And if you go back and look on my YouTube channel, you'll see in real time me talking with you, trying to figure it out, trying to work it out, talking about feeling underneath something, talking about feeling unwell and not knowing what was up. Well, now I know what was up, and I've been with myself in a much deeper way than I ever have in my life. And it's been maybe about a year, almost a little over a year of being on my own, still saturated in this nature, still deeply involved in my own breathwork practices and my energetic practices, jumping on a trampoline every day. Gift from my little sister, communing with the sun as it sets. Now I'm communing with the sun as it rises over Mount Shasta. So back to this theme of toxicity. May this message serve you. May it guide you home to the truth of yourself, and the work that I've done to get to this moment, to get to this stage, to get to this now, has been the hardest work that I've done in clearing, in consciousness. Releasing so many primary intimate relationships was so hard. To grieve, to set boundaries, the risk of losing it all for the sake of gaining my heart, God's heart alive in me, creator, source energy alive inside of me. Everything can go as far as I'm concerned. Everything can go as far as I'm concerned. So, toxicity. You can't see the forest for the trees sometimes. What got you into it won't get you out. Surrender the thinking to feeling your way. Your mind, if not peaceful, I can guarantee is one of the major culprits in the phenomena that you consider, that you call your life. Clear your mind, clear your mind. There are tools, there are practices. If you don't have a practice of being, of sitting and breathing, even if it's just 3 minutes, even if it's 5 minutes, then what's going on in the world will pull you under, no doubt. It's time to really, each of us, to tune in and to serve ourselves, to save this experience so that it can get to the next level, really. You cannot think your way to peace or think your way to freedom. Tricks of the mind are temporary at best. Clear the trauma out of your system and then see. How do you know if you have hidden or stored or unresolved or repressed or unintegrated trauma? How do you know? How do you know, as you're listening to me, how do you know if you've got trauma, unresolved, something's going on in there? Well, look at your life. Look at your life. Slow down. Stop looking at Netflix. Stop binging. Stop shopping. Stop eating. Stop smoking. Stop drinking. Look at your life. Look at your life. How do you feel? Are you well? Are you healthy? Are you in respectful relationships? Are you medicated? Are you addicted? I was. Do your words and actions match? Are you content? Are you content? Are you at peace? Are you regulated or dysregulated? Do you react without pause? Do you overreact to simple offenses? Are you easily offended, waiting to be offended, trying to justify why your situation, why it can't be better? You don't have time, you don't have the resources, you don't have the money. You're grown up now, it's time to grow up. I love you and it's hard, but hiding and pretending is so painful for you and for everyone around you. Those are the thoughts that I had in my morning meditation. And, I wish, that means there's judgment against my process, against my path, and maybe wishing means I wouldn't have the sense of power, empowerment, confidence, trust that I do now. So I won't say it that way, but I'm curious how my path would have unfolded had someone really slowed down to be with me and attune with me and reflect back to me that my childhood, my relationship with my mother and my father broke some parts of my system, and I maladapted to over-responsibility, to codependency, to caring, to leaving myself, to having no boundaries, to allowing people to use me, abuse me, betray me. And I did that, they did that because I did that to myself. they could do that because I was doing that to myself daily on the regular, in my own head, in my own actions. And I didn't know I had so much unresolved trauma. I was resistant to it. I was ashamed. And owning the shameful aspects, the embarrassing parts of your journey is part of the healing process. My friend and teacher Jason says there's no shame in healing. I mean, that means don't judge the shame that you feel while you heal, because the shame needs to be felt to be released, but we don't need to judge it. We just need to bring our awareness to it and release it and be open to it. All of the ickies, all of the sticky, icky stuff. Toxicity. You may be in a toxic system. Your system may be toxic. You may be in toxic work environment. You may be in a toxic friend relationship. You may be in a toxic love relationship. How do you know? Go back over that list. Because you deserve so much more. You deserve to be in relationships that have sacred reciprocity, where what is important to you is important to the people that love you, that they will invest their time, attention, and presence in the things that bring you more alive. It's a hard one because we do all have maladaptive behaviors and we're maybe getting along just fine. But if your energy is low or anxious or overwhelmed or blah, 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 I am urging you, sweet spirit, to come forward. Take time for yourself to heal what is yours to heal, to integrate what is yours to integrate. The freedom on the other side, it's hard to describe. I hope you can know it's there for you. I'll be facilitating on Jason's platform, Revelation Breathwork. You can find him on Instagram, Tuesday nights at 7. I have a donation-based group, a Zoom group that I've been meeting for maybe a year and a half now, Breath of Love, every Sunday at 8 a.m. And if you can't make it in real time, there's a donation-based library, so you can go in anytime to be with yourself, to tune into yourself, to clear the toxic sludge that might be preventing you from experiencing more of your own truth and freedoms. I love you. I care about your journey. This message is sent with love, and I hope you will make some kind of contact, if not with me, then with your own heart, in a way that feels sacred and meaningful. I'm sending you all my love and so much care from these sacred mountains. Mwah.